Time do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
Hi, folks. I'm Dan Hollifield. Welcome to Last Man Standing. Stupid O'Clock was pretty freaking awesome tonight. Had a huge crowd, and a lot of subjects were covered. So, if you're interested in that sort of thing, check it out on the replay. As for now, I have Rich with me, and I have Aunt Donna with me. And Dawn may or may not be here a little bit later. We will see. And Thessaly may even show up. We will see. Depends on their schedule. How y'all doing?
Doing good? Yeah.
I am watching the show on a 34-inch wide monitor as of today.
Nice.
This was my 45th service center anniversary gift from the factory. So I looked at the catalog and I go, I've got a barbecue grill. I don't play golf. What am I going to do with another clock? Watch how long I've got left to live. So I got a rather large monitor.
That's something you can use.
For as long as it lasts, I'm getting. I've only had it hooked up about half a day today, and I'm already going. When this thing dies, I'm getting another one. Hopefully, that will be a long time from now because this one's free. A replacement would not be. Only thing I don't like about it, it doesn't have internal speakers. So, switching back and forth between the two computers, I have to have something rigged up to where I can hear what's going on when I play a video. Although I think I have solved that problem, I do have external speakers hooked up. I do have both computers hooked up to the stereo that I bought. It was on sale. Don't blame me. I saved $100. Okay, was affordable. I've got several little portable Bluetooth speakers. You're supposed to use them with your phone or uh, an iPad or something like that. I've got one I need to bring home from work and have it set up. I've got one already here that's set up for the streaming computer. So all I got to do is hit the USB port for it, and it will link up to the streaming computer and play whatever it is. And I don't have to turn on the stereo or the other set of external speakers or whatever. That way I can be quiet when my wife wants to sleep. That is the main objective here is I don't have to have it so the neighbors can hear it. I want to have it so I can hear it, and my wife in the next room can get some shut eye. I'm considerate like that. And if you believe that, you'll buy this watch.
Oh, I know how considerate you are, sweetie.
And Rich, you have some encouraging news of a personal nature.
Yep.
That I don't know if you want to shout it to the world yet.
Well,
I don't want it to be jinxed, but I wanted to say congratulations. I do hope everything works.
yeah, we finally got everything cleared out of the house. My dad passed away September 2nd of 22, for those that weren't aware. So my sisters and I have been working to try to declutter the house for over a year. I finally got to the point where all that was left in the house was stuff that can be thrown away. And we had already gone through 3 or 4, either 30 or 40-yard dumpsters. And that was a lot of backbreaking labor for 3 individuals who have a lot of physical limitations because of, our health, each taking a downturn in the past few years. So we finally paid someone to finish off the rest of it. Last week, got the key over to the realtor. The realtor had it listed very next day. And the realtor that we're going with was friends with my dad. So when I was looking for one of the emails that he had sent, put in his name, came up with an email from 10 years before my mom passed away. It's about 19 years ago. So, he's been involved with my parents for at least that long. So 19 years ago is when the email was. It was, like I said, 10 years before mom passed away. Mom passed away 9 years ago. Anyways, long story short, too late. So it went live being listed last Sunday. 5 different viewings this past week. They didn't like the initial price of the house, but that's what happens. You price a house higher than you want to sell it for because they're going to shoot you a lowball offer, and then you're going to counter, and then you're going to try to meet somewhere in the middle, somewhere where they feel that they screwed you over and they got a deal, and somewhere where you feel you got your value out of the damn house. So that's what ended up happening today. We ended up dropping the price Friday night into Saturday, and then at Saturday they lowballed us $100K lower than what we lowered it to, and we're like, how about here? So And we came in exactly at the floor, exactly where a year ago I was telling my wife the house will probably go for this. I was right. So, hopefully, because they are cash buyers, they do want to close before the end of October, depending on how fast they can get inspected and make sure it is indeed something that they want. They've got 2 weeks to do an inspection to go ahead and rescind their offer. If something really major is going on that they're like, oh, we didn't see this, which is going to be another X amount of money, whatever. The good thing about it being an estate sale is we don't have to disclose anything because we don't really know what the hell's wrong with the house because we didn't live there. But the house was finished in February of 1978. I know. I was there. I was only 4 and change. It was a couple months before I turned 5, but I was still there. That's actually the house that my middle sister was dropped on my head as a child at. My parents literally built that house, meaning they were actually there swinging hammers after work. They literally built that house. So it's kind of bittersweet. I've spent more of my life under that roof than I have away from it. And I turned 50 this year. So, yeah. But it's nice to know that we're not going to lose it to the bank because we only have so many more months of bills in the bank for the house. And none of us can afford paying out the $1,500 a month for electric, gas, mortgage, insurance, and all that for the house. So we would have lost it if it went too much longer. But it's
not including like taxes too.
Yeah, property taxes is a little rough.
Most of the property taxes were caught up, but we're going to have to pay what's left of it out of the sale of the house.
But that's what I mean. That would have been something else that would have eventually reared its head too with the house.
Well, we're still dealing with part of that too because we paid half of it, but we didn't have a chance to pay the other half of it, and because of how late in the year is, I think because of the way everything goes, we have to pay some of next year's as well, if not all of next year's, because the taxes for next year's are actually being assessed from off of this year and whatever.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
I don't know. I show up and I look pretty, and I screw that up all the time.
No, you don't. You just gorgeous.
I love that accent.
But yeah, there is the possibility of me making the Hallowcon.
Keep your fingers crossed.
We are praying, seriously. But if not this year, definitely next year.
Yes.
And I just realized today that LibertyCon 2024, I will be fully retired when I get there. That scares the. It frightens me to death to think that I am not going to have that weekly paycheck that I have depended on for 45 years. I'm going to have my retirement money, that my pension, my 401k, eventually Social Security.
Launching March of next year, only dance.
Yeah, really. Hopefully, more in tune with who I am. Launching this year before Christmas. Couple of more novels coming out. They're at the publisher. Their schedule, not mine. Whenever it comes out, it comes out. They're working on it. Reissue of the Spaceport Bar Stories, the Marinarium series, Volume 1, which means I have to hurry up and finish writing Volume 2 when I've already got 4 other books in the works that I haven't finished yet. And they have, let's see, the prequel to the Tom Darby novella. Remember the word count. And they also have the first novel yes, Disposable Man, thank you.
Yes, I realize I fanboyed there. So, done.
Hey, I'm excited that anybody wants to read anything that I've ever written. I mean, seriously.
That's fanboying. I just have to give you a little ribbon now and then. Now what are you stroking?
Oh,
His Dan box.
Yeah.
Wrist strokes the Dan box. Okay.
Not the
Look at
green
it.
room. Not the
5-year-old.
green room.
hey, I'm getting off.
Otherwise, that would have been a really good hashtag.
But I do have to remember to bring this box with if I'm able to make it down to Hallowcon this year, because Dan forgot to autograph these before he put them in the box.
Oh my God! I should have done that.
We know.
Or maybe I was worried that you wouldn't like it. For some strange reason, I still think I need to be humble.
Around us.
No, that's not.
Around anybody that would condescend to read what I write, and that's not false modesty or what is it that Nick calls it
Imposter syndrome?
imposter syndrome. Thank you. No, it's just I'm amazed when anybody tells me that they go, "Oh, I read that. Oh, I listened to that. I love that. I bought one," and I'm going,
That's not what you heard from me.
What I heard from you was kind of ultrasonic, but
I fangirled very differently from the way Rich fanboyed. I don't even remember which story it was in the book.
well, Dawn went to go and buy something, I think. Oh.
No, I think I.
Oh, is that when you damn it, Dan, or Dan, you asshole, or something like that?
Oh,
no,
yes.
No, I called him a bastard.
Okay.
And he just laughed. Dan. Oh. It was a compliment because of the story that I read.
She read something, and then she realized, and then she went, "Damn it, Dan!" That's one of the higher compliments that I have gotten, is that extreme annoyance that I should have seen this coming. Oh, Lord. As long as I've been at this, and as much as the people have told me that the stuff is enjoyable. I'm still going, are you on the right meds? Uh, it just doesn't seem real. I mean, I read it and I enjoy it. Um, because basically, I'm the kind of person that I wrote everything for. Um,
Mhm.
when somebody else enjoys it, I'm just flabbergasted and highly complimented, and just absolutely eat it up like ice cream with caramel syrup. It's just
Or chocolate syrup and whipped cream, like I ate tonight. Okay, which
mm,
one you made the comment about I was wearing the wrong shirt?
Joe Dog.
Joe Dog. Because if you spilled the ice cream, it wouldn't have shown up as well, or maybe it would have shown up more well.
No, it went where it went last time.
Oh yeah, it's not a scoop neck shirt. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Joe Dog has his fantasies.
Yeah.
I can't believe I get away with saying things like that.
But Joe Dog has his fantasy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his Donna is gonna kill me.
Yeah, because I'm innocent. This time I really am innocent.
You're always innocent. You're just you're just you're just as sweet and gentle and kind and totally naive little girl. And
Wait a minute. Let me put my feet up. It's getting a little deep in here.
Get out of my head, Donna. I was like, I don't know if I've got waiters that will let me go this deep.
hey, I put my feet up on the footrest before I even started that one. Uh,
I won't even tell you where I put my feet. Oh wait, listen, my feet were right where they're supposed to be.
hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, but it is last man standing, and apparently we've been stretching the bounds of the well, the difference between this reality and that reality a little bit, but it's all in fun. If you can't have fun, what's the point?
Hmm.
Seriously.
Right.
But speaking of books, guess what came in
Mm,
early?
mm. Congratulations.
Thank you. Very fun.
Now you find all the typos that your editor missed.
I don't do typos.
All your mistakes were intentional, huh?
No. My beta reader told me what I needed to change. There were only about 3 little things in it, and I'm like, oh yeah,
I love
that
it when that happens.
that does make it a little clearer, doesn't it?
Okay. Um, I've gone through several months of issues of Aphelion, and I'm kind of the default short story editor now because uh, we're just kind of in between editors, and it falls on me because I'm the publisher. I got to fill in the empty slots, and when it's back to being a one man band, that's when I close the magazine down.
Donna wants to talk about you closing in those empty slots.
Fill in the blanks.
But
Um,
oh,
no. What I was saying was all the
'cause I'm
short story
innocent.
submissions for the last few months, I have barely even had to change punctuation, much less typos. These folks are professional beyond belief, and they're sending me their stuff. Big name publishers need to be trolling Aphelion and looking for new writers because these folks are top notch. So get off your high horse and come and take a read. Um, when you get a submission for an amateur writing zine that has no corrections that need to be made, and it's a good story, and I emphasize it's a good story. Somebody needs to take notice. And Chris is with us.
Hey,
Hello.
Chris.
Hey,
Well,
Chris.
I finally gave up on that book I was telling you about.
Oh, the one that you got really perturbed at early on.
I
Oh, the one
think
that you got when you were down here.
yeah. I, and I mean, I've gotten through Hemingway, and I detest Hemingway, but I've gotten through at least three of his stories to prove that I don't like Hemingway, and I could not get through. I think I was on like page 24, and I'm like, no, I can't do this. So I started reading an anthology that BCM has a story in called it's a Western anthology.
You got muted there. You're going to have to say that again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, I started an anthology that BKM has a story in that's called, I believe, Spurs and Six Shooters. Western stories.
Mm-hmm.
Very first story. And I'm like, okay, most people probably do not know this. But I'm an English major, so I do. The person in the story looked around and noticed that most of the buildings had the same name on it. And you know how you sometimes say they bear the same name?
Mm-hmm.
How do you spell that bear?
Not
I'd have,
the
I'd
way
have to
I
look
think
that one.
that was spelled from your reaction.
Yeah, it is spelled Bear.
Not BARE.
Correct. Plus, the past tense of that is bore. They bore the same name. This story said they bared the same name, Bared.
Okay.
Well, they were naked when they got there. They were naked when they were talked about.
Well, maybe the name was under a blanket and they ripped the blanket off. This way they bared the blanket or bared the name.
Maybe. The fun part was I was trying to illustrate this to Carl, and he could not come up with the word bear. And I'm
I
like,
admit I would have had to look it up because I couldn't remember right offhand
Mm.
which spelling it would have been.
I'm giving you some good clues here, dude. You're Mr. Thesaurus man. You're the man and he was all these words that meant the same thing, but I'm like, you're getting too fancy with your words because he was throwing out 2 and 3 syllable words, and I'm like, no, 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 I want a 1 syllable word, and I finally had to just give it to him, and that's what she said.
And then you gave it to him again and
Mhm.
again and again.
just because it was fun.
Hey, Kelsey,
Right.
though, remember we're both in our 60s now.
Well, and remember, I'm perfectly innocent. So
Okay, appointments were involved.
Yeah.
yeah, you missed that, Chris. That they said I was innocent. I was naive, sweet, innocent little girl.
Funny.
I think you got more pissed off at the little girl part. Oh, let's see. It probably won't help to mention that I've got grandchildren your age.
As long as you don't start singing the Annie song, we're good.
You mean about the sun coming out?
Only when I could still do my Tim Curry impression.
When Carol Burnett's doing her little girls song, little girls.
Well, at least I got the actual movie right. Easy Street, yes.
Isn't that a Van Halen song?
Not this one. This one was from the soundtrack to Annie, and Carol Burnett and Tim Curry and somebody else were drunk as lords, apparently, while they were
Was that
filming.
Carol Kane? Carol Kane? No.
Hmm?
Couldn't have been. Who was that?
I thought it was a third guy or second guy. Anyway, if you watch the movie, you'll figure it out, and you can tell us.
Was it Albert Finney?
Brewster's
The
girlfriend.
faintest idea.
Well, he played Daddy Warbucks in the 80 version that had Bernadette Peters and Blaine Quinlan and all them.
Well, this was the trio of, for want of a better word, villains of the film.
Yeah, Bernadette Peters, Carol Burnett, and Tim Curry.
Okay. For lack of Mr. Google, John, thank you.
I googled it because it was driving me off like freaking nuts. Because I'm like, I can hear her. She was the ghost of Christmas Past in Scrooge, but I can't think of her freaking name.
Is it really a drive, or is it more of a brisk walk down?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm thinking of Scrooge with Bill Murray. Carol Kane's the Ghost of Christmas Present. Johansson's the one. Christmas Past. I think, or I might have got that.
Yeah, present. My.
Yeah.
Well, that's a Christmas present I wouldn't mind unwrapping, but then again,
It still hits you.
Carol Kane is surprisingly attractive.
Bernadette Peters.
surprisingly,
But crazy is.
I know.
And-
Well, I say that because most people don't consider her that attractive. You know, she's just funny and fun and kind of screwy and crazy. But, you know, she not bad look.
and what part of that do you think is unattractive? Is what I'm saying.
I think she's attractive, but I'm saying a lot of guys wouldn't consider her that way. Because they don't have discerning taste like we do, Dan.
Crazy
That's
has its
true.
own. Crazy has its own magnetism.
You know, I loved it because she played Lotka's wife in Taxi.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was hilarious. Perry, her and Andy Kaufman, because not many people could keep up with Andy Kaufman, and by God, she gives as good as he got.
I mentioned he would kind of step back and go, "All right, I can work with this."
Yeah.
And she can do the serious voice, and she can kind of do the ditzy, crazy, dingy voice too.
there were a lot of people from back in the day that would absolutely astound you. You were used to them in a serious role, or you were
Mhm.
used to them in a comedic role, and when they stepped outside of that and they
Mhm.
did the other,
Mhm.
you were just going, "What the? I mean, okay."
So look at
Well,
Um,
Leslie Nielsen.
oh
For
yeah,
for
let's
years, he was a
Mr.
very serious.
Serious.
Yes.
yes, and then people discovered he had a sense of humor, and
Well,
the world got changed real quick.
the Abrams and Zucker folks got a hold of him and turned him loose.
Because when you think about it, he played a pretty great character in that movie. He
Well,
Which
wasn't
movie?
Forbidden
probably
Planet, he
fun.
was serious.
Yeah, Forbidden Planet.
But for
Most
Airplane,
Well, come here.
Yeah.
most of
he was
Scarlet
this great
Pimpernel, he
guy.
was serious.
Come here.
Uh, and then people found out he
You
had
keep
comedy
close to me,
chops,
I'm
and
gonna
they just
get you.
turned him loose.
Come on,
And the world has been different ever
come
since.
on.
It's kind of like first time I ever saw Robin Williams play a serious role.
And, well, what about Tom Hanks? You know, he was famous
Oh,
for all his comedic
yes,
roles.
indeed.
And then
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Mhm.
Bill Murray went from
Oh,
comedy to serious.
too batshit crazy in two steps, three steps, basically.
Kilmer and um,
Yeah,
Bruce Willis
Kilmer's.
also went from comedy to more serious and actiony type roles.
Hmm.
Um,
Bruce Dern went from sort of
well, he went from bad
lighthearted
guys
to
to,
very serious
He
in a
went from being
couple
an
of different.
asshole to a different kind of asshole.
well,
Hmm.
yeah, he went from serious to quirky and strange. Um, hell, look at Jerry Lewis's serious turn in The King of Comedy.
Oh Lord, you're not even supposed to be able to see that movie. That's supposed to be buried.
Well, I got to see it in my critical history of film and television class.
That's probably about the only way.
But granted, this
People
was 1991.
people were waiting on the jokes, and he went, "This is a serious movie," and got pissed off about people thinking it was a comedy.
Well,
And
you want to really see a weird comedy movie with him in it? Watch Slapstick of Another Kind.
that one I've never heard of before.
Him and Madeline Kahn are fraternal twins.
Jerry
And
Lewis
they,
and Madeline Kahn.
yes.
All
And
right, I'm in. I'm in. Take my money.
um, yeah, but they're born with elongated skulls.
Don't care.
And Pat Morita plays a Chinese general that shrunk down to like 3 inches in height.
Pat Morito
Typecasting.
is only 3 inches in height.
Yeah,
You would
it
know.
really is. Like,
Well, by now he's probably less than that. I mean,
yeah,
especially if he was
well,
cremated.
yeah, well. Here's the deal. China has a obvious population problem. So, in order to deal with their population problem, approximately 90 to 95% of the population is shrunk down to microscopic size and has to live off a pound of rice a year. And they have big adults, regular size, to do most of the heavy lifting and all that crap for the thing.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, with him reduced in size, his voice is a little bit high pitched, almost like there's a little bit of helium added to it. So, yeah, let me just say, it's really weird but funny. It definitely has some funny moments.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, so if you have nothing better to do with your time and, an hour and a half or so to kill, check that movie out if you get a chance, Dad. It'll definitely leave a mark on you.
Oh, I get
Oh, the
this.
funny thing is, they're also the parents, Madeline Kahn and Jerry Lee Lewis. So they're doing the serious. I mean, Jerry Lewis. They're doing the serious role and then a little bit of comedic element as the kids.
Yeah, I think I need to see this one.
It's called Slapstick of Another Kind.
I had to give this monitor a tryout on a movie
That
just
is
to see
such a
what it
cool
looked
monitor.
like full screen on
What
this
size?
enormous thing that I've got now. Don't say a word, Donna. And
Oh Lord.
If we
Not
need a
saying
hashtag,
anything.
that would be a hashtag right there. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
let's
Donna,
just
he
say
has it now that you're on.
let's just say Buckaroo Banzai on a 34-inch wide screen is just as awesome as it was in the theater.
Dan, could you
It was
imagine the intro to Spaceballs where Spaceball 1's going overhead?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
what size is it again, Dan?
what? Oh,
What
it's
size is it?
34 inches wide.
It's all about girth. That's what she said.
You okay, Donna? Or do you need towel number 7?
My laundry bill is
Not
going
all
through the
about
roof.
If that
not about girth, that's for sure.
if that thumb gets any more closer to her teeth, it's gonna be in her mouth.
That's what you want.
No, no.
Okay, how do we top this, folks?
Hey, it's last name standing. We have to have some fun.
Go.
There you go, Rich J.
I'm just waiting for somebody to bring out a can of spray whipped cream or something. And pineapples.
What about maraschino cherries?
Brooke Ritchie.
No, I thought about the scene from another, not another teen movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a whipped cream bikini. It's a banana split. Turns around, and that's Captain America, ladies and gentlemen.
I would much rather think of Varsity Blues in the whipped cream bikini.
Oh, heavens.
And the cool thing is, Allie Larder's into dad bods.
Blink. Oh. I hope my mom's praying for me because I'm never going to get into heaven any other way.
I mean, us.
Never underestimate the power of prayer, Dan.
Yeah, but at least you'll be with the rest of us. I mean,
You can be alone.
Nope. But I get to drive the boat.
It would just be interesting to be able to travel between both places and visit your friends and family in each one.
Most of my friends and family are in eat down south. That big come on.
Well, you know, Driving and Crying is famous for their song, I'm Going Straight to Hell.
Mm. Just like my mama told me.
Yeah.
Mama said there'd be days like this.
Yeah, she just never said there'd be so many and this many in a row. She was trying not to break my heart at an early age. God rest her soul. She was a lovely woman.
Well, then again, Mama told me not to go.
Yeah, well, you know. Three Dog Night reminded everybody of it.
Aren't you glad you don't always listen to your mama?
Oh, Dad. Come on back, Dan. Come on back to us.
Ours wasn't that friendly of a family.
Is it Friday yet?
Not yet.
Oh.
Coming soon.
No. Wait a minute. I'm in a bit of a quandary here.
So are we.
How the hell?
We can help.
How the hell am I supposed to survive being retired when I can be doing something like this or the green room every night of the week?
God,
I'll never get any writing. I'll never get any writing done.
No,
I'm sure.
We just come up with
not if you did a green room every night.
Let's have the purple room, we can have the red room, and we can have the red room. That sounds kind of fun.
I don't know. It depends on what time of the month it is.
I knew somebody was going there.
Not for some of
Some
us.
of us don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Haven't had
It
to
takes
worry
all
about
kinds.
that for a while now.
It takes all kinds.
The factory was dysfunctional, so it got taken out. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just old.
matter, Dan?
I don't know. I'm looking up, hoping for Jesus, and all I see is Doctor Who.
Jodie McPhee called me a cougar tonight.
Well,
Just as
Can't imagine why.
You are a classic
If
model.
the leopard print fits, wear it.
What was that word?
I said leopard print fits, wear it.
Ironic you should say that because I do have a lot of leopard print around.
I remember.
I remember
Uncle
because
Carl's story
Carl's
about the store,
about the
and
Florida
he
Walmart.
let you in the Walmart, and from the parking lot, went and parked the car, went in, and guy asked him what he was looking for. He goes, "Well, it's a little red-haired lady in a leopard print pants," and he goes. Dude from Walmart looked around, goes, "Take your choice, dude. There's a bunch of them."
And none of them were me.
Oh Lord. I have the most interesting friends.
No. Joe found out tonight that I'm older than Carl. And he called me a cougar, and I'm like, it's only 3 years.
Well,
My mom's older than my dad.
Who is it that sings that song, Older Women Make Good Lovers?
Every man who knows
Anything.
But see, my mom's older than my dad by 9 months. So one was being my mom was being born and my dad was being conceived. And we just
When
scared Crystal. Well, I scared. Oh wait, he came back.
No, I accidentally hit the mouse pad or touchpad on my laptop.
Well, I'm
I
3
scared
years.
y'all.
I'm 3 years
I got more
older than Lindsay. Does that make me a cradle robber or what?
No.
Yep.
It makes you smart.
Well,
I've been called
Lindsay,
that
yeah.
too. When Carl and I first started going together, one of my salespeople at the flower shop found out he was younger and called me a cradle robber, and I'm like, he's 27 fucking years old. I'm only 30. I don't consider that robbing the cradle.
No, it isn't.
Back to
I
that
have
27
done that, but not with him.
Well, my first wife when we got married, she was 37. I was 27.
Mm-hmm.
She was a cougar.
Well, like I told Joe, it's that white beard makes him look older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So we'd been married about 2 years, and the state decided he was still a counselor at the time. The state decided that all the counselors had to have a master's degree, and if he wasn't still back, they would pay. So like, we're not the dummies our mothers raised. So he went back to school, back to the U of I, which was his alma mater in the beginning. And of course, he has to go to class during the day, and he wore suits to work, of course, back then. So here he is in his suit with his beard, and these young co-eds are calling him sir, and he was so pissed at that.
You know, I get that from some of the kids at work. I'm going, I'm a working man just like you. You ain't got to serve me. I'm not in management.
Yeah. Well, you do that to NCO in the military. They're like, don't call me sir. I work for a living, damn it.
Well, yeah, but I'm not quite as vehement about it.
Yeah, I know, but
No,
you weren't a Army or a Marine in particular. Those are
No.
those are the ones that are most adamant about that.
I was going to join the Air Force right out of high school and aim for being a mechanic working on planes and hope to open up my own little garage once I had served my enlistment. And unfortunately, about 2, maybe 3 months before my junior year of high school was completed, the Vietnam War ended.
Oh wow.
And my mother and one of her sisters decided I was going to college. I was not going to enlist in the military of any branch.
That's all right,
And,
Josh. How you doing?
oh, hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Weren't you guys all wondering why I just flipped everybody off?
No, we expect that from you. Thank you. I know that was especially meant for me.
I'm multitasking.
No, I told Carl when he complained about these young co-eds calling him sir, like, it's not like you're going to be able to pick them up. You drive an Omni, for crying out loud. There's no college girl going to go for you.
Yeah, when Josh said to, howdy pop, did my lady Dawn, and I saw the bird, so I went,
Mm,
eh. It was my way of saying, hi, Josh.
if you're familiar with the 1993 film version of the Beverly Hillbillies, that's California Hattie.
Mm-hmm.
My nephew Jacob. So, in my family, that is thrown around a lot.
What, this?
Um,
Exactly.
so my sister, yes, my sister used to flip off my brother-in-law all the time, and their son is Jacob, and they would always tell Jacob it meant "I love you." So Jacob's about 5 years old in school, flips off the teacher. I know what this means, and the teacher's just aghast, and he's like, "It means I love you." So Sheila had a interesting talk with the teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, some parent-teacher conversations ought to be recorded for posterity.
Mm-hmm.
He did what? Oh, well, that's okay. That's normal.
Well, his oldest sister, her first words out of her mouth, first spoken words ever were "fuck you."
We related in any way?
Yeah, Josh, that's
I was convinced that was going to be Crow's first word.
you're roboting.
I understood him though.
I was afraid that was going to be Crow's first word, and also Crow, that little pain in the ass. I don't know how the F-bomb was brought up in school, but it was brought up. And Crow, to her teacher, said, "That's my daddy's favorite word."
Oh, fuck, now I just remembered something. I once avoided a trip to the principal's office in elementary school because I was overheard reading what was rudely carved into the bathroom stalls. And the teacher goes, "You've been cussing." And I go, "That's not a cuss word. My dad cusses. I know every cuss word my dad says. That's not a cuss word. That's not even a real word."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, you sweet summer child, you're so ignorant." The dramatic pause was a word that she said that I didn't. Um, oh, Lord.
Oh wow.
Oh, now I remember even more elementary school. The time when I got tied to my seat because I was so gregarious. They actually took a rope and tied me to the disc
There's a
because
girl that was,
otherwise I was up and talking to everybody in the class.
when I was in second grade, there was a girl that got tied to her chair or desk.
Nowadays you got to pay extra for that.
When
How
Crow
much
was
money you
still
got?
in elementary school, there was a child in the special needs class that the teachers, not the teachers, the parents of the child were trying to sue the school because they felt that they were um, uh, torturing the child by forcing them to stay put in their seat. The teacher's father built basically little things to go down on the sides of the desk and something to go in front so that the kid couldn't squirm out or anything like that. Now, granted, I agree the school should have talked to the family before doing something like that, but I also think the dad needed to have his ass kicked because this was everybody. This is when there was a lot of security issues going on, so every visitor to the school had to check in at the front office, but he slipped in past that, past all the security, to get into his kid's classroom. So I think he needed his ass kicked for that. His ass for that, but not for the issue is copy now. Maybe my internet will keep up now.
We'll see.
Yeah, I only caught part of that.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Richie.
It's fine.
Josh, Lindsay's really, really upset about that. So,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people are. Not that that was a comment in bad taste. It's something that has been a long time building up to this point, and it's going to take a long time to cool it back off again.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks are going end times and final war and all the rest of the stuff.
Seems a bit too early for that, but it's not good.
It's just one of those things where you knew it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
But why now? There's got to be a better way. And that's about all I can say about current events or politics or anything else in that vein. Not the artery, but the vein. Thank you, Rocky Horror.
And sorry, Dan. I found a WKRP in Cincinnati group on Facebook, and I'm just reliving some of the fun times from it. Apparently, Richard Sanders, who played Les Nessman, turned 83 in August.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
More power to him.
Yep.
And I
didn't know he was still around.
I still remember the episode about the phone police.
Well, apparently, nearly all of them are alive except for Howard Hessman. I don't think anybody, because I think Gordon Jump's still alive, if I'm not mistaken. Want to play Mr. Carlson?
Mm-hmm.
I know Gary Sanders still is.
Bonnie Anderson is still alive.
Yeah, and I think the one that played Bailey, she's still alive, Jan Smithers.
Well, she was really young, too. So I would think she...
and I think the one that played Herb is still alive. And as far as I
No,
know,
he
Tim
just passed
Reed's
away. He passed away a couple years ago.
okay.
Mhm.
So him and Howard Hessman are dead. I think Tim Reed's still alive. One played Venus Flytrap.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And as far as I know, everyone else is still alive. So it's just Howard Hessman and Dr. Johnny Fever and Herb, the sales guy.
I was so in love with Johnny Fever.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't everybody?
Oh, somebody
It was
played. You know the end of the credits of the show that had that kind of rock song playing.
Mhm.
They actually put up the words to that thing.
Mhm. Well, actually, there's a couple of different versions too.
Yeah, but I think they did the one that's actually in the television show credits. But it's funny. Um, Howard Hessman playing Dr. Johnny Fever, who was such a rebel and nonconformist, and then he plays the teacher and head of the class.
Yeah,
That was a good show.
that was a
Yep,
great
both
show.
of them were.
even ahead of the
Mhm.
class, though. He was a teacher, but he wasn't a typical teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, and let's bring up one of his more infamous roles where he played Smooth Walker in Dr. Detroit.
Ooh.
Police Academy.
Yeah, I think he was in it too. But like I said, the one that Dr. Detroit was so much fun.
Mhm.
And of course, if you're into movies that are a little bit on the more blue end of the scale, shall we say, he was the chauffeur in Private Lessons.
I don't remember that.
Sylvia Crystal was the one he used to entice the young child of a rich family that he drove for. It's one of those coming of age,
Yeah.
adult oriented films.
And Josh, I didn't want you to think that I was scolding you.
Yeah, it's just something that
It's
has the
not.
potential to upset and possibly trigger some folks.
Yeah.
But it
And
is concerning, and
yeah, definitely. Um, well, most current events are at the time, and then you, if you're lucky, get to look back on it and go, "Wow, that was some serious stuff." Um, glad it worked out. Well, hopefully this will work out too. A diplomatic solution is always the preferred one, but
or at least it cools down, and there's chance for everyone to catch their breath and move on to hopefully something bigger and better things.
well, yeah, it'd be nice if worked out to where there were some equal rights going on and a little less conflict and a little less reason for same. But it history is full of situations like this, and I don't think in 20 years we're going to look back and go, "Oh yeah, this is another one." But you know, um, when things have been building up for 10,000 years, uh, the Middle East has always been a powder keg about to go off or just gone off. And everybody else in the world is going, please settle this before it escalates.
Okay, Gordon Jump is dead. One that played Mr.
Yeah.
Cross.
He was the first to pass. He passed in 2003.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Then followed by
The funny
Frank
thing-
Bonner, and lastly, Howard Hessman.
Yeah. The funny thing is, Gordon Jump was the second Maytag repairman, and he was actually older than the first one. And now Colin Ferguson, who was in Eureka and a few other things, is now the Maytag repairman for their commercials.
Oh, and
When
now
you
I've got.
said that, I was like, he's in Eureka? Because I'm only so many X miles away from the city of Eureka. So I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, there was a show Eureka. I think it was
Yeah,
Eureka, California, though, but I'm not positive about that.
Washington.
Okay.
Didn't it
I
have
was thinking it
engines?
was out west.
So, Northern California. And my friends that are in Seattle are going to go, man.
Southern Canada.
They're having a conniption.
Where's Zach when you need him?
Having a conniption.
I'm sorry. He kept saying, "Why am I here?"
Figuring out ways to torment children in Christian camp.
Oh,
I knew I liked that boy.
I know.
I was surprised he had it in him. It's
Were you in
always
the-
those you least suspect.
Well, were you in the green room first the other night? But he
No.
was. Oh,
Oh,
that's the 45 hashtag night.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't in this past Friday night, but the previous one, yes, I was in.
The 45 one, the one he was in.
I don't know. I provided a number of them.
He was talking about, the the head coming off. What was it? The head popping off or something?
Yeah. Hopefully there wasn't a gerbil inside.
sorry, dear.
I didn't realize you were drinking. I apologize.
And then I almost killed Talker yesterday.
Yeah.
What did you do to Nick?
He said the South shall rise again.
That's
So
what she said.
That's why I'm saving my Dixie cups.
one of my best friends when I was in high school, in fact, he actually passed month and change after my dad passed. But he passed away last year. But back then, it's one of the stories that his dad used to tell is when he was in the Navy during Vietnam. CO on the boat used to like to say, "The South shall rise again." Eventually, one day, my friend's dad got sick of it, and as soon as the CO yelled, "The South shall rise again," he yelled back, "High enough to kiss a Yankee's ass."
I don't think Chris was listening.
And Patrick was laughing so hard and couldn't breathe that it was like how down it gets sometimes in Last Man Standing.
Oh, Lord.
Where you just thought that they're going to just pass out because they couldn't get enough air because they're laughing their ass off.
There was one of the classic comedians that was in the Navy during World War II, and he was Jewish and was wearing the Star of David on a little chain around his neck. And one of his co-workers in the crew were very anti-Semitic, but they didn't have any idea what Judaism or anything was. It was kind of like being raised to be racist in the South now when you have no idea what any of that actually means. But big fella came up and confronted him about the Star of David, and the comedian, with all the grace and intelligence and wit that he demonstrated later on in life, said, "Oh yeah, that just means I'm the sheriff of the ship."
Mhm.
I think it might have been Don Rickles, but I'm not sure. There were a couple of other candidates that would be equally as quick-witted, but this was back in the day of things like the Dean Martin roasts and lots of other things that would not fly today. They would just be a little bit too borderline for modern day sensibilities to allow it to exist uncensored. So we'll gloss that one over because nobody laughed, so screw it. The minefield of my memories. Never know what's going to set somebody off. Don't everybody talk at once. I mean, grief. It's not like it's my. Well, it is my show.
Yeah, I started to say.
Every time else,
It was bequeathed to you, Dan.
Hey,
We're just waiting for you, yeah.
it's supposed to be the Stupid O'Clock After Party show, and I decided to turn it into Green Room Light. Sometime
no,
along
he
the way.
decided to turn it into Green Room Light.
No, it got.
It evolved.
So are you going
Yes.
to chalant her again tonight?
Well, I could be very chalant.
As soon as you said
strikes
that,
me.
Donna took a puff and then she took it out of her mouth and smiled.
Dan's going to chalant her all night long.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'd chalant the
Well,
hell out of that. Yeah.
There's the Lionel Richie all night long, and then there's the Rainbow all night long.
Depends on how.
Oh, I almost forgot. There's the Billy Squire all night long.
Oh, wow.
My.
Night. All night long.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of salanting going on.
Yeah, well,
Really?
there's at least 3 songs worth.
We're going to have to stock up. They're going to. Maybe Sears is going to have a sale. We can stock up.
Stock up on salant.
Yeah.
I think they do still have the online store. The actual physical stores, I don't think there's any left.
Oh, hey, Carrie. You got the link. Join in.
Oh my gosh.
And
Wait, I got a question though. Since Sears and Kmart were or are or owned by the same company or they were or whatever, does that make the Shallant could be considered a blue light special?
Something blue.
With any luck.
I don't know about lights, but something got blown.
Wow. Today
A
is
couple of
Molly
circuits
Quinn.
just kind of popped, but
Somebody just suddenly took a man kick.
where do we get you in Waffle House?
Well, I want to know when y'all are going because depending on what I have going on, I would like to be there to witness this event in person.
Dude, who do you think we're going to get to drive? You're not invited. You're
If
required.
they go early enough into the day, I can drive.
Well, breakfast. I mean, seriously.
They serve breakfast 24 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
I can
They
drive. I
serve
just don't
other
have a
stuff
car.
24 hours a day. You can get whatever you want off their menu 24 hours a day. Either side of it.
I'm so glad you
They have
added that
laminated
off their
menus.
menu. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant.
Yeah.
Except
Yep.
for Alex.
Well, it depends
Make
on
it
if
down.
she
Are you going
decides
to
to
Waffle
show
House
up.
with us?
What?
What was that?
I said, Rich, did you make it down? Are you going to the Waffle House with us?
Of course he is. We'll have to pop his
Hell
Waffle
yeah.
House cherry too.
Wait, you've never been to a Waffle House either, Rich?
Nope.
They don't have them. They don't have
Oh,
them there.
Lord.
In central and southern Indiana, apparently they do.
They're
I think
slowly
we went
making their way
once
north.
in St. Louis, but
That's a bit of a detour on your way to work, though.
Yeah.
hey,
Just a
Rich,
wee bit one.
we could have, if you make it, we'll have a double cherry pop.
I'm going to have to bring my earplugs. This is going to get loud.
Could get messy too.
Oh,
That's
Lord.
all right.
Depends
They
on
have
what.
they have napkins. I won't even have to bring a towel.
Yeah, depends on what you order.
Because they gives meaning to words when you guys talk about blah 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 and slathers. You guys go blah, 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 so fast I don't catch any of it. Cubed and diced and slabbed and
Scattered, smothered, covered, and chunked.
Mm.
That's how I like my hash browns.
How many
Look.
more days, Chris?
About 24, isn't it?
I want to say it's like 19.
Is that a happy dance? No.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe it was 21 Friday, so Friday and Saturday. So now it's officially Sunday in the Eastern Time Zone. It's 19.
Central.
It's officially Sunday in Central Time Zone. So.
Yeah, it should be. It's like almost 3 o'clock in the freaking morning.
It's 2:24.
And it's
If you're looking
124
at
here.
Thursday, it's 18. If you're looking at Friday, it's 19.
Yeah.
Well, I highly recommend when
Yeah,
you
I was
are-
going for Friday, the official. Now, we'll be there a day early setting up.
Yeah. Well, I highly recommend showing up on Thursday and not leaving until Monday morning.
If we show up
I
on
have to-
Thursday, you put us. Chris will put me to work, and you know how lazy I am.
I ain't going to put you to work.
Well, if I show up with them, are you going to put me to work too?
Probably tending bar, yeah.
Then maybe I'll have to put you to work, Chris.
I'll be too busy, but, I'll probably take a few minutes for you if necessary.
A few minutes.
you would do anything that the cult of Chris asked you.
Well, actually, since I'm the center of the cult and you're apparently my priestesses, aren't y'all supposed to serve me?
Oh, I'll serve you all right, baby.
with a side of hash browns.
Scattered, smothered, and covered and chunked.
You ain't careful, you wind up that way.
Oh, Rich is going to have his own cult. I'm telling you.
I am the Reverend Dickie Asplin. I will save all you sinning motherfuckers.
Challenge accepted.
It might be 25 cents at McDonald's when you're ordering your coffee when I give you a coupon, but I mean,
That means that
didn't say how I'd save you or what I would save you.
Oh, Lord.
does that mean we have to be the priestesses
Wait.
hood of the cult of Chris?
Is there a dress code? That's what I want to know. Get those little chiffon robes or whatever.
Probably a cloak that clasps at the neck, and anything else is optional.
This is probably a bad time to mention that my wife is trying to unload some corsets at the vendor's table.
I'm sure those corsets would not fit. So we'll go on.
I was thinking.
Well, they don't fit her either, so. But they are pretty. So,
Well, of course, she has good taste.
hey, high class stuff, let me tell you.
She only offers the finest things for her customers.
Does that mean that she's offering Dan to us to purchase?
He's probably not for sale.
You said
Probably
offer. You
not
said
for
offer
him
the
either.
finest stuff.
I don't want to buy him. I just want to rent him a while.
Yeah.
And you'll have to talk to my pimp. You convince her, and you're doing a good job.
This is awesome.
You
You
could probably sell a Ford to Henry.
Dan, you're familiar with the picture of Sean Bean as Eddard Stark, where it says winter's coming, or he's got the sword pommel up. Well, somebody just did a meme with it. It says, "Prepare yourselves. WKRP turkey drop references are coming."
It's that time of year.
Swear to God. Yes.
It's beginning to look like Buy Me Crap, miss. Christmas trees are in the store.
Some stores they've been in there since 4th of July.
No, most of them here, they haven't been in there till recently. It was like September 30th, October 1st weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they do put out the Hallmark ornaments on the end cap in July, but it's only one end cap.
Our local Dollar Generals have learned they have a Christmas aisle all year. It never gets moved. Well, occasionally it gets moved to a different aisle, but it never gets done away with.
Well, most of the time, the places down here put it up so it doesn't sit there, people waiting to, staying on the shelves and not moving any inventory.
Well, yeah, there are a lot of people go, hey, it'll go on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after New Year's, maybe.
No, it'll go on sale the day after Christmas. It's just a lot of the stuff gets gone between then and New Year's. And usually any stuff that Walmart or similar stores have after that, they quickly put away because they're trying to get other merchandise out.
Yeah.
And usually them and their customers are burned out on Christmas by the time New Year's Day or New Year's Eve starts rolling around.
hmm With Walmart, right after Halloween, the Valentine's Day candy comes out. What is it with stores nowadays? They've got to be 6 or 8 months ahead of a holiday.
When I worked at Walmart
Profit and money.
when I worked at Walmart when I was in high school, I worked at the fabric department, and we were setting stuff up in July, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, okay, I do get it for fabrics and crafts and stuff like that. Getting the Christmas, you gotta actually make that shit, and that can take time. But everything else, what the hell?
Well, like I said, normally it's not until the very end of September or early October at the earliest before they break out most of the Christmas stuff. And a lot of people get offended because they're like, good grief, we can't even have Halloween. Like, they get the Halloween stuff right after back to the schools over with first part of September. Usually after Labor Day weekend, Halloween stuff's out for us.
Some stores, it's right after New Year's.
We went to Target today, and the Halloween stuff is already 30% off. Most of it is gone, and they're starting to put Christmas stuff out.
The hobby stores are overloaded with Halloween stuff. Now, most of the year they still have a dedicated aisle because it is such a popular holiday.
Should I ever get a house again, I am probably going to get my ass kicked by Misty for doing this, but I don't care. I'm going to get every type of inflatable holiday decoration, the plastic light up things for every holiday, Easter, Halloween, Christmas, have them all in the yard all the time. Going all the time.
Well, my uncle came up with actually a pretty cool idea. He said he would like to have a living room with a double door closet attached where he could just roll out the Christmas tree, have it already decorated, and when the time the holidays are over with, just push it back in and shut the doors.
I always thought the way my family goes way overboard for Christmas. At the family home, back on the farm, just ought to leave the bloody tree up all year long. Just, the only other time that we would use it would be Thanksgiving, and that's near enough to where you really wouldn't be offended by a Christmas tree being up already. And then, as budget permits, buy gifts, wrap them, put them under the tree. Some of them may be 3 years old by the time they get distributed to the children.
Well, I'm mad because I can't get one of my favorite Thanksgiving DVDs or programs on DVD. I don't know. Dan's probably old enough to remember this. Donna might. Rich, possibly. Dawn, maybe. I don't know. But do you ever remember The Mouse on the Mayflower, narrated by Tennessee Ernie Ford?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
It's not on DVD I would rather have it on Blu-ray, but even if it was on DVD, at least it would be on DVD.
So I
All
have
right.
to throw this up for a moment because
You're going to say something.
Yes. You were talking about can't get your favorite, Thanksgiving DVD.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to quip. That's the wrong kind of stuffing. And then I was thinking about Linda Lovelace going, "That's the wrong kind of gobbler."
Is this when people fight over the breast or the legs?
Probably both. It just depends on if you're a breast man or
Kind of meat you
thigh
like.
man. Probably just depends
So-
on if you're a breast man or a thigh man.
Mad Magazine.
Yes.
Back when Married with Children was really big,
Mm-hmm.
they did their little thing about a parody of Married with Children, and off screen you see the chat bubbles of, "Oh, I love those breasts. I'm a thigh man myself. Look at those buns."
Mm-hmm.
And of course, what we would call a Karen today would be, stomping in to yell and boycott and stuff like that. And then when the family is actually in frame, it's a bucket of chicken.
Mm-hmm.
They've got biscuits. They've got chicken legs. They've got chicken breasts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, it's. I had a laugh
So
about
they
that.
essentially did a Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friend. Here it is.
Yeah.
Wow, I actually got a ESPN College Game Day reference in there.
And now for the rest of the story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Mm.
Oh my.
That's what George Takei said.
How long was that story?
I don't know. It just depends on, I guess, how often or how long it took to be around the bush. I got dollar!
And Rich, he got Rich too. I was watching this more. He's like, damn it.
Rich is just smiling.
But enough about Kate.
Hey, $20 is
She's a lovely
$20.
woman. Kate Bush is
Wait.
a lovely woman.
Hello,
Good luck
Mike.
with this bunch.
Hey, Mike.
Good
Mike
morning,
Jimmy.
Mike.
Yeah, and Mike Jimmy pops in when we're making ad comments. Of course, why not?
Do we make any other kind?
Yeah,
Okay,
Kate.
no.
There are other kinds.
Yeah.
There's good, and then there's really good, and then there's so bad it's good.
I mean, variety is the spice of life, and we do try and run the gamut.
So here's the sign that Joe Dog requested me to make last night.
Mhm.
When a certain someone shows up to Stupid O'Clock, but it doesn't look like they'll end up showing up to Stupid O'Clock anymore.
Oh, did he figure out how to disinvite?
He made a new group.
Yeah,
Mm.
there were some
Um,
folks that were left out.
A lot of folks are left out.
Only 3 that I know of.
Somehow I made it back. I made it to the next round of play.
He was just wanting to see you eat ice cream again.
And we have a winner.
Good morning.
Hey.
Good morning, my
morning.
Jimmy.
I did not realize you guys had a new chat for this.
Yep. You're included.
I know, I am, but I saw the other one open at Facebook, and it still had like the last month standing link from last week or last Sunday.
Mhm.
So
Well, you could join that one, but it's kind of dead right now.
it is.
There wasn't one last Sunday.
That's true. I didn't have
Sunday
any
for him.
working internet for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
That is awful.
It got fixed. We had an excellent repairman come out,
Awesome.
and we gave him a very good review. Uh, Basically, he came in the house. He looked at the phone jack on the wall in my office that the modem runs through, and goes, "That thing's been hit by lightning. I got to replace that." Soon as he did
Ah.
that, my wife is texting me right and left all day long while I'm at work. It's working. It's working.
It's still
You're like,
working. Honey, 5 minutes ago it did too.
So
No,
your
no. I
internet's
mean,
doing better too?
everything is doing better. It's
Awesome.
it's not only that, but he gave us an up to date modem, so it's now
Mm.
faster than it used to be. When I got
Nice.
the other modem 13 years ago, technology has improved. But basically, she can watch her Britcoms and soap operas like EastEnders and Coronation Street, and I can be sitting back here and watch YouTube videos or stream a show or type or whatever it is that I do on the rare occasions when I'm actually awake, and it all goes just fine. There was a test period yesterday when I had both computers going and streaming stuff off of YouTube. Had the iPad going when I was replying happy birthdays to people on Facebook, and she had the Roku TV going on one of her shows, and there wasn't a single dropout.
I was gonna say
Nice.
you look crisp.
You
It's
look
great.
marvelous.
And and Mike Jimmy, I got my 45th anniversary of working at the factory present this week.
Ooh.
I am now the proud owner of a 34-inch wide curved monitor
Neat.
designed for gaming. And I'm going,
we
holy,
all enjoy that
this this thing
vibe.
is, I can't even see it all
Mm-hmm.
looking
That's what
straight
you
ahead. It's
It's,
it's way off to the sides.
you know what those things are perfect for as well?
Yeah, I sure do.
Making music, animating, all of that stuff. Like I need one of those too, but the thing is I can't fall on them.
Well, this one was free, so I can put up with it.
Mm-hmm. No,
But
don't worry. Like you will get used to it very quickly. They're actually very comfy to use.
I
hey,
actually
hey
sat
my
down and I had to try it out with a movie, and I was torn between a Godzilla movie and something else, and then on my list of films that will be coming to Hallowcon with me, Buckaroo Banzai. So I sat and watched that again, and I'm going, holy, it's not even letterboxed. It's the full screen. I loved it. I loved it. Um, right now with this, I can see everybody. I've got much wider chat, even though I can't reply to it without it coming through on all four links that Joe Dog's got it set up on. And I can see all six of us as being in the green room backstage, our green room backstage. Not to confuse people, but I'm sure someone will still find a way to be confused. Um,
could be the red room.
I'm not in a Black Widow movie.
It could be the purple room.
Purple room, yeah. Maybe it could be throbbing too.
Well, as long as that's not black.
No, because that can be scary.
Wait.
Then
Carl
minutes
does
ago.
watch this one too, right? Hi, Carl. Let's get it right, please.
You may get a ride to Hallowcon, but you may be walking back. Uh,
Yeah, so if I have to stay in Georgia, I have to stay in Georgia. No, I'll miss my kids too much. And Ted, I suppose.
I suppose, yes.
I'll miss the kids.
Mike, Jimmy, how's Luz coming along? Is she
She's
coping
starting
with
to
the pregnancy well enough?
She's starting to kind of get back up there. Her body is starting to feel a bit more okay, but she's doing very short nights. A lot of stomach ache still. It's still not great, but yeah, it's getting there, and it's good that we're in clear. We're less than 10 weeks away.
That
Yeah,
is
but
so
Sorry.
friends of mine in England are already a week overdue, and they're going, anytime now, we're ready.
Yeah, no. Here in the Netherlands, it's 40 weeks. They already make an appointment to
Hey, Ace.
actually start the process
Yeah,
2 weeks from there.
either induce labor or start a cesarean. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're just
Bumpy roads and hot sauce.
we're getting there, but yeah. No, we had a lovely weekend last week. Both really relaxed. Asked her to marry me out of nowhere.
Yeah. I saw the beach photos. Congratulations again, by the way.
Hopefully,
Yeah, I
she
know.
said yes.
I know. I'm
I
surprised
mean-
too.
she did say yes, right? Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, from her point of view, you got me into this.
But no, actually, this isn't like it's not for the kid at all. If that was the case, I would have asked her 6 months ago, and we would have been
Yeah.
broken up already. Like it doesn't work like that.
The kid's just the icing on the cake.
No, the kid is just a kid. I asked her because we were having a wonderful moment.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is,
Yeah,
the kid's all nice and good, but it's a added benefit to everything
Yeah.
else. It's
Yeah,
not the impetus. It's just a bonus.
exactly. So next week we're Luce actually did a jewelry class, so she's actually a professional jeweler as well. Yeah, I know. And one of her
Renaissance woman.
classmates. Yeah, no, one of her classmates is has his own jewel shop, inherited from his parents, and they are specialized in matching wedding rings. So we're going to go there next week, and we're looking at a marriage date for November 6th. So we can just do it free, quick, get it over with. We're not going to be a couple that's going to be,
Get it over with.
Hey, that's how Carl and I did it.
Yeah, no, like, what are we marrying for each other? That's it. Like, the party will come once we're settled in. I'm still living in boxes. She's still living in boxes. There's a kid coming, all that stuff later.
Right. Oh, I was just giving you a little bit hard time.
Well, I mean, when Lindsay and I got married legally, we eloped, but got my mom to drive.
Yeah, like whatever.
No, we went down to the county courthouse and got married by the justice of the peace, who had just come back from rounding up his cows.
The officiant for Misty and I wore a grumpy sweatshirt, as in the Seven Dwarves grumpy. Grumpy. Misty and I weren't pleased, bashful or happy or hell, even sneezy or dark. Just not dopey or, grumpy. I mean, but so not this
Foreshadowing.
not this coming December 29th, but December 29th of 2024 will be Misty and I's 20th anniversary.
Awesome.
So I'm trying to figure out a way to, and actually now that the possibility of Dad's house being sold, I got money to actually spend on it, to renew our vows for our 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Our wedding bands cost $100 together. They were overstock.com cheap ass.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
I wanted to wait.
Wanting to redo that was something a little bit more special, aren't you?
Well, I keep talking about wedding bands. She's like, no, these are the ones we got married with. Her engagement ring was a cheap little topaz half-ass thing that she could show off to people, because her real engagement present were replicas of Twinkle and Icing Death, the swords of Dritz Duard. Yes, I proposed to my wife with swords.
Fuck yes.
My wife has a copy of the bride's sword from Kill Bill that I get.
Cool.
It's a miniature, but
And I proposed to her on her 30th birthday because she was convinced her 30th birthday was going to suck. I'm like, let's give her something to be happy about for her 30th.
Yeah,
You
no.
gave her
I,
Just
and what did he do? He changed her up.
Just be careful what you say about topazes.
I wanted roses. He asked me to marry him.
Carl and I were both November babies, and we married on my 31st birthday. Both my engagement ring and my wedding rings are topazes because I hate diamonds.
What I mean by cheap ass topaz is the engagement ring that she wears as her engagement ring was $35. That's what I mean by cheap ass topaz.
It's a cubic zirconium that
there's really
brown.
there's actually blue, because blue's her favorite color. So I got her a blue topaz.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also a November birth, as is Dan, because
Yes,
3 days before Missy's birthday.
hers would be the 6th.
Well, I told Carl, I says, he should be glad that I don't like diamonds because there's no way in hell he could have afforded diamonds as big as the blue topazes in my ring.
This is true.
I am not a jewelry person. I told Ted that's why we're not getting married, because I wouldn't wear the ring anyway.
Honestly, Luce wants to go for platinum just because it's more expensive. It's durable, like.
Mm-hmm.
Or, shit, Mike, I would have gone for two things if you would have asked me somewhere. Either it would have been one of those candy rings with the gigantic thing on top, or nothing at all.
Misty gets mad because my ring is usually in a box on my desk unless I'm actually leaving the house. I'm like, who needs to know I'm married here? We all realize it.
Oh, I can't wear any kind of jewelry whatsoever at work
Yeah, no, that's a thing too.
for safety reasons.
Yeah.
It's against OSHA rules, and I am really looking forward to being able to put my wedding ring back on. I mean, it's
Mhm.
it's simple. It's not ostentatious or anything, but it means a fuck of a lot to me. And I can't even wear it on a chain around my neck. That's against the rules too.
Because it can still get caught in something.
Yep,
Yeah.
sure can.
Pull you in.
Those catwalks can be really dangerous.
Hmm.
My job is one of the safest things around because if I'm not typing, I'm someplace in an environment where I am in complete control of every hazard that could possibly be, and still, most dangerous thing I do is whip out a big knife and cut something.
Nonetheless, you're in
I
the
got
right group.
gloves. Um,
Misty gets mad at me because I don't wear it around the house. Because another reason is that how often my hands are in something with electricity passing through it,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and even if something's unplugged or something like that, if that ring hits the leads of a capacitor, capacitors hold charges just like batteries,
Yep.
they
and they
hold
hurt,
charges longer
Yeah.
than batteries.
and they hurt.
Hmm.
You know, itty bitty little capacitors hurt. Some of the ones that my hands get around, no,
No,
that'd
you
throw
don't want
my
that.
fat ass across the room.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You feel the power of comedy as you reach around the back of the TV set and touch the wires. Yes.
Don't say they started.
No, we
I'll have a hairdo like Yahoo Serious.
Hmm.
I was put on notice, so we had to have a wedding. So we had immediate family only. My brothers, being 9 and 11 years older than I, had gotten, especially since David got started at 16, he had 4 kids. Dale had 3. By the time I got married, 3 of my nieces and nephews were married. 20 people on my side of the church, 4 on calls. And my sister-in-law taped it, and you can see when he turns around to introduce us, the clock in the background, and the ceremony took all of 10 minutes. But had I known what my family would do, I would not have done that. I would have gone to the courthouse because when Chris, the Reverend, introduced us, my family went fucking wild. They clapped, they cheered, and I'm like, oh my. I had never seen anybody applaud at a wedding before.
Oh no.
And certainly not that enthusiastic.
Yeah, think about
Depends on
you.
depends on the bride's wedding dress. Some of them get applause when they get out of the car. Um,
I mean, what was it like? Was there a 12-hour flight before that? Because Americans apparently have a thing about clapping after a flight too.
Really?
Yes, that is a thing
Oh,
where we Europeans go, wow.
that's got to be something new because when we
Oh
got
no.
off of
I didn't
a
say.
10-hour flight to England, we didn't applaud. We just went through customs and said, we ain't got nothing to declare. Don't look in my suitcase for the 2 cartons of cigarettes I brought with me. And
You
then
know.
we had to catch a train
Mm,
from Gatwick to Portsmouth.
And they weren't on strike. Lucky you.
They weren't on strike, but my credit card company threatened to go on strike if I spent that damn much money again in one fell swoop.
Yep.
You'd think I just bought half an acre of land in someplace popular.
You would have probably been cheaper off looking for a flight from Gatwick to Portsmouth.
Actually, Portsmouth doesn't have an airport.
Something closer by might have worked, though.
Well, it worked out. It worked out. I mean, they took one look at my credit card and listened to about 3 words that I said and go, he's American. Take his money.
Yep. So, Dan, if you bring up what I'm sharing.
Oh,
So, blonde lady in the back row, my mother. Gentleman right next to her, my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the lady in white is Misty on our wedding day.
Yep.
The little girl that is just to Misty's left is my niece Brianna.
Mm-hmm.
The little girl right in front of Misty is my middle child. The boy in front of us is our son.
Mm-hmm.
And then my sister Sheila and my buddy Wayne and my mother-in-law. And, my brother-in-law Mike and Dusty. That's all that was at my wedding. This was actually at the ceremony. Yeah, our long commute home from the ceremony across the parking lot. We got married in the clubhouse of the apartment complex that I was living in for 5 days at that point in time, and Misty was moving in that night. Because her family was very Southern Baptist, she couldn't move in with me until we were married. But her sister and her sister's husband were literally the unit right next door. We could have gone all Shawshank Redemption and got a spoon and tunneled into their apartment.
The walls were this thick.
Damn near.
I'm not surprised.
I was rudely interrupted a few times in the middle of a shower because our shower right next to their bedroom. Did not need to hear those noises.
No.
Although also that apartment, one of my favorite scares I ever did to Misty. So the downstairs bathroom, Misty was in there taking care of business. She went in there. I knew she was in there. So I got right next to the door and squatted down a little bit so that we would be eye to eye. So I'm just sitting there, I'm waiting. And waiting. Holding my breath, waiting. She opens the door. I'm like, "Rah!" She freaks out. She starts like running in place doing this, trying to slam the bathroom door. But she's slamming it so hard that it's hitting the frame and bouncing open before the latch can catch. So she just keeps slamming the door.
Who's getting a call?
She's still pissed at me about that. That ain't me.
Not me.
it was Chris.
Ah,
Oh, somebody asking me about Hallowcon. I told them I'm live streaming. I'll call them back.
Yeah, it still exists.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have one loose every
The price
year.
has gone up. But,
It It was another one who was wanting to. Who was actually last year was their first time. They're wanting to come back.
Cool.
They just one of those situations where life happens and things kind of blew his budget all to heck, and now he's trying to get
I know how
everything.
that feels.
All
I
that.
know how that feels.
Mhm.
So yeah, and yeah, he's excited about it. So
But my budgetary concerns might be over in enough time for me to attend. I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I hope so
we
too,
all are.
Rich.
We all are. Now,
Can't
And,
attend this year for
I'm
me, guys. I'm sorry.
yeah. Hey,
Rick,
we're just happy that you want to come. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, no, for
when
sure.
when life gets to a point where you're better able to afford it and all that, we'll be happy to have you. Don't worry, Joe. I'll take care of it.
Oh.
now, a corollary to Rich's story. 3 days ago was our 18th anniversary of first meeting each other. Although we had known each other online for 10 years before that. So, October 5th, Lindsay got off a bus after a 3-day ride from New Mexico with one of my novels as a printout as her sole entertainment besides the people on the bus. She paid me a very high compliment. She said after she had gotten about a chapter in, she forgot that I was the one that wrote it. So we're there in a no longer extant bus stop in Athens, and bus pulls in, and I stand up, and I see her through the windows of the bus. She sees me, and I stand up again. And she starts heading towards the door of the bus, and I stand up again. She goes, "You were levitating." I go, "I do that sometimes." Uh, you know that song, "Walking in Memphis with my feet 10 feet off the ground"?
Yeah,
That's the
Mark.
way I was,
Oh.
Yeah.
and I
As it
kind of gave
sounds
her
like.
a limited tour of the town. Um, Showed her several places I remember from having lived there for many, many, many years. And we finally got home, and I carried her over the threshold and only bumped her head against the door frame twice. And I cooked her
Really?
a spaghetti
Gotta wait.
dinner, and almost forgot the garlic bread, but I finally remembered it just in time. Um, we spent the rest of the evening listening to music that we both love, and after dark, we went back outside in the wide open spaces about out here, where my nearest neighbors are way far away. So you got an uninterrupted view of the sky. All the stars were just diamonds on velvet. And we declared our love right there in front of God and everybody. And believe me, only God was interested. And here we are Hey,
9 after
here's
3.
here we are about like 18 years later, and neither one of us has wound up in a barrel buried in the backyard. So
December 5th will be 20 years from meeting Misty. May 1st was the 19th anniversary of our first date.
Yeah, October 4th was our 1 year anniversary. So
I was flirting heavily because I thought I didn't have a chance. And of course, Aspen's law number one, back in the day was, beautiful women must smile at all times, which is followed up with Aspen's law number 2, which was all women are beautiful when they smile. And now that has been changed slightly from women to people. All people must smile. All beautiful people must smile. All people are beautiful when they smile. Just to keep at the times. But
I don't know the rock, but I'm gonna fall asleep very soon. So I'm gonna let you guys go for tonight.
Okay.
I know
We
you're
are already a little late.
Well, it's already 3:11, so we're already running over.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
well,
But Dick needs to tell a story, and I need to go to sleep. So let Dick tell a story, and then I'm going to go to sleep. Okay.
but
Good
I,
night.
good night.
Good night.
see, we're not
John.
connected.
I didn't think I had a chance with her in any way, shape, and or form. And my ex-psychopath was just making my life a living hell. So I had the chance to possibly go to Debrecen, Hungary with the company I work for because they're looking for supervisors and managers to bring this new call center that they opened in Hungary to the standards of the U.S. offices and our policies, procedures, and stuff like that. So I put in for it. And at that point in time, Misty had joined the Dungeons and Dragons group. So I sent an email to the entire group saying, hey, I don't know how quick of a turnaround this might be if they choose me to go over. So I wanted to warn everyone right now, there might be a chance that I might be going to Hungary because I'm like, fuck it, 6 months to a year out of country will allow me to distance myself from my ex-psychopath enough that I could actually have a clear mind on what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And to that, Misty sent me an email, and I'm sitting there, I'm reading the email, and I'm like, printed it out, took it to my mom. Mom, I want to make sure that I am translating this from hot chick to dumbass correctly. So mom read it, and she's like, yeah, she's sweet on you. I'm like, okay. Then I went back to the factory I used to work at to talk to 2 other ladies that I used to call mom, and said the same thing. I need you to translate this from hot chick to dumbass for me. And both of them agreed because I love my mom, but, I'm her little boy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times that I should have got my ass kicked for things, but it's like, no, he's a good boy. Blake Shelton's the baby. Yeah.
She's prejudiced.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was the baby. I was the crazy one. I should have been murdered millions of times over. My parents didn't do me any favors by fixing so many of the mistakes that I made because it didn't give me a chance. So when I finally got on my own living with Misty, I made a hell of a lot more. Good thing I learned quickly. But anyways, so yeah, it's had some people. I'm like, okay, so Misty and I started talking. Our first date actually ended up being the day before it was supposed to be, because May 1st is actually my brother-in-law's birthday, and Misty's sister, who I never in a million years would have thought was going to be behind Misty and I getting together, because it's my best friend and I brought our friend Don into the group. Don brought his partner from the rigs because he used to be a paramedic, my brother-in-law Mike. Mike brought his wife Dusty. Dusty brought Misty. But whenever Dusty had any conversations with me, I was full on in character, and my character was an even bigger asshole than I am. So I thought she hated me, and then when she found out that Misty and I were starting to talk and stuff like that, she just became little Mary Matchmaker. But the day before Misty and I were supposed to have our first date was my brother-in-law's birthday, and they were having a spaghetti dinner over there. And they're like, let's invite Rich over. So yeah, that ended up being our first date. And 5 minutes after I met my oldest niece and nephew from that set of in-laws and my middle child, I became a jungle gym. And they're just reacted in pure horror. Oh, we're so sorry. You know, I'm like, do you see me upset about this? I get this all the time at home. You know, to my nieces and nephews, because at that time, you know, they weren't my nieces and nephews yet. You know, I'm Uncle Jungle Jim. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe Dog, people that know you get nervous.
Mm-hmm.
You smile. People that don't know you will learn soon if they value their lives and their sanity.
They know they're about to be hit with the wave.
And don't get trapped in an elevator. As Chris pointed out, we are already 17 minutes into the third hour. So perhaps it's time to say goodnight. Mike, Jimmy, I wish you'd gotten here sooner. It's not your fault.
Hey, we're glad you showed up, though.
Hey, anytime we get to spend together is time well spent.
I just slept in, guys. Otherwise, I would have been out here at 7 a.m. when you start.
Hey, it's fine, man. You're tired to sleep in.
Bored, yeah.
No,
Get your sleep now, because you're not going to be doing a lot of sleeping.
Once a baby gets born, you're not going to be sleeping very much. So
there's the Kelly sneaking up on you, Donna.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh yeah, Joe Dog says
he was back there half a second ago.
He's here now, right? In that case, let's say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, lovelies.
Take care, everyone.
No, wait, I've got to change.
Oh,
here.
Which button now?
Go good, guys.
Oh, go.
They also.
Long-winded me.
Surely not.
See y'all as soon as I possibly can.
Yep.
Good night.
In 19 days, if nothing else.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.